You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
Everybody, Bing is for doing, and we're doing another AfterBuzz. I'm just gonna do it to the song. Oh yeah.
What just happened?
That just happened. What's up, everybody? Welcome to SmackDown AfterBuzz. I am Christian Rosenberg. Some people call me professional wrestler's voice of choice. As always, you can be the judge of that, and of course, as always, not doing this alone. By my side, I got Miss Kaori Takee. How are you, my dear?
I am fantastic, and by my side, I've got Rome the Ruler.
Yes, I'm in the building as always.
You are in the building.
There's no one to my left, so
There's not.
I'm just gonna kick it back to you.
Fair enough. Because we're rocking Friday Night SmackDown once again on Friday night, because this is where SmackDown belongs. And we're holding it down as SmackDown hails from Minneapolis, Minnesota this week.
Home of the Vikings.
Home of the Vikings. And this was action-packed, pretty much like star-studded SmackDown this week. It was just nonstop from beginning to end.
Hot from the top.
Yeah, absolutely. We started really pretty much the only promo of the entire night was this segment at the beginning.
Well, yeah, it took up all the promo time.
It did. It did take up a little while. It was a little while. It was Triple H with the town hall meeting as he's first standing in the ring with both general managers Brad Maddox from Raw and Vicky from SmackDown. Starts off saying, regretfully, as of this Monday night, some of you might not be aware, Cody Rhodes is no longer a WWE superstar.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love that segment from Raw, and I thought it was done really well. And we get the whole Brett screwed Brett thing out of this. Is I didn't fire Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes fired Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm. Always a great line.
And he sets up, like I said, the open forum. So again, we have all the superstars out on the stage again. We're having this several times, and I like the repetition of this because eventually it keeps building up more and more and more. Because eventually something will happen, and you're just building up for that moment. And I can't wait for that moment.
One of these days, because it's gonna happen.
You got the Shield standing guard.
They're just gonna overrun the Shield.
Someone's just gonna come down.
Yeah. I mean, can't wait for that.
There's gonna be a wave of WWE superstars, and Shield's gonna and yeah, I can't wait to see it. Reigns is gonna run.
Reigns is gonna run and
run.
Scream like a little girl or something. Okay. So Triple H is trying to open a forum. There's a mic set up right in between, right in the center for all the superstars to use. He's like, if you have anything you want to say, now's your chance. Come on, I wanna be fair to everyone, and everyone is afraid to go to the microphone.
No one wants to touch the mic.
Almost everyone.
Well, almost everyone, until finally Damien Sandow is doing to break the ice with a new T-shirt that I really, really want someone to buy me. That T-shirt is fantastic. So
you don't
someone watching live.
Yeah, what does it say?
What did it say?
I'm trying to remember. I didn't write it down.
I loved it so much, it just blinded.
It was something like, I am greater than... I have to look it up. Now I feel like an idiot. But I absolutely loved what it said on the T-shirt.
I think, therefore I am.
I'm greater than you on the back.
On the back.
Back greater than you. Thank you. That's why you're the tag team partner here.
Assist.
You're the muscle. I set him up, you knock him down.
You know it.
So Sandow, the first one to mention, I fully support your decision of terminating Cody Rhodes.
Kiss, bud.
Which is what is expected, because all of a sudden that whole feud now comes to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
And Triple H though kind of mocks him a little bit. It's just like, well, I appreciate that, but this isn't meant to be a butt kissing open forum. So then after that, Kofi steps up to the microphone, which is pretty much the first time he has spoken at all in like 2 months.
That was a little shocking that he came up to the mic. I'm
And he was saying, well, I'm going to be honest with you. After Cody Rhodes got fired on Raw, all of us are in fear of our jobs. And I don't feel that that is what's best for business.
Walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
And the
Kofi's got
crowd's like, finally someone said something. And it was Kofi.
Out of everybody that you thought would say
Yeah.
something.
I know, right?
And just before Triple H can say something to him, Kofi is interrupted by 3MB.
Why, of all people?
Why not?
It's
That's my
their
question.
line.
Why not?
That's what they do.
I just...
They just cut Kofi off, start talking trash about Big Show, saying, it's been all about the big guy and him crying, da-da-da, and just all that stuff.
He has been doing a lot of crying.
And then Triple H tells Heath Slater, thank you for emptying what was left in your mind.
He
This
said
was
the
hilarious.
entire contents of
Oh.
the
Was,
brain.
of what was left in your brain.
Yeah,
good.
another great line.
Yeah.
Just Triple H he's not just going after the top faces. He's just ripping everybody.
Yeah, he's
to
running
shreds.
after everybody. Doesn't matter. You get in his way, he's verbally lashing you.
Yeah. Now things are starting to step up because now RVD gets on the microphone.
That's right, dude.
He's like, you're the one who brought me back a couple months ago, and I was under the impression that things were better.
That was pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
That was pretty good.
I like
But
it.
this whole vibe that we're feeling, it's not cool, dude.
It's not cool, dude.
And Triple H is going nuts. He's like, I've been waiting since 2000 for RVD to call me dude. Just completely mocking.
Yeah.
Just great.
I was waiting on Cheech and Chong to come out behind RVD. It was
Someone.
almost that bad.
Well, Swagger was on stage.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And Cameron.
Yeah,
Also.
I mean, everyone, almost.
Yeah.
But that really there was no real resolution in that little segment.
It was just some words.
Yeah,
Just some words.
it's like, okay, we let you speak, and that's all.
And then Ryback goes on the microphone and is like, I'm sick and tired of everyone calling the big guy a bully.
I've never heard anyone call Big Show a bully.
No, calling Ryback a bully.
Ryback a bully.
But you said the big guy. He said the big guy.
Ryback calls himself the big guy.
Yeah, but there's a bigger big guy.
This is
Lots of
true.
bigger
But he is a
guys
big
there.
guy.
But,
Yeah, I know.
but
Yeah.
maybe in Ryback's mind, he doesn't realize that.
He didn't say
That's
biggest guy, so.
I don't know if he has enough of a brain to find that out, but hey.
Maybe. And Triple H was then kind of agreeing with Ryback. And Triple H, I know what you're talking about. This past Monday on Raw, you beat Dolph Ziggler, and people are saying that you only beat him because he was hurt. And Ryback, exactly. That's not it. And like Ryback's like reaching like this understanding with
Yeah.
Triple H, which is just disturbing in itself.
I'm loving where they're going with Ryback's character right now because he reminds me of Biff from Back to the Future. He's like Biff with muscles. I love it right now. I didn't think this is where his character would be, but hey, I love it.
Right. So Triple H is like, I'm going to allow you to prove yourself and reward yourself. So tonight, Ryback, you're going to go one-on-one once again with Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler never got to talk. He was just like,
Yeah.
And it's like, now I'm going to reward the people who actually stepped up and spoke. Kofi Kingston, you're going to take on Curtis Axel in a non-title match. RVD, you're going to take on Randy Orton. And he also commented that Dan O'Brien is not on the stage because he feels that he doesn't need to hang around with the little people.
Yeah.
Again, another little jab at Daniel Bryan for his size,
Another shot.
saying
Oh,
that
dear.
he's thinking everyone else is the little people.
Him and Dolph, they've been getting it over the last couple weeks from Triple H.
But at least Daniel Bryan's been able to fight back from it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll get to that at the end when we talk about the end of the show.
Well, yeah. So we start off right away with RVD and Orton. And we have Alberto Del Rio joining on commentary. And match fairly competitive back and forth. And then early on, like within the first 5 minutes, we have that beautiful power slam out of RVD's Rolling Thunder by Orton.
Yeah.
He did that about a month or so ago in that triple threat match for SummerSlam, and everyone just was in shock and awe over it. And then he does it again here.
He can't do it again.
Never again.
He can't.
No, you got to save that for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If you build it up and have them on a pay-per-view, that's when you do that move out of the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
it just looks
It's
so
sick.
good.
It's phenomenal.
The timing for both of them to do that is just absolutely phenomenal. The tides turn in the match when RVD goes for his leg drop from the apron onto the barricade, but Orton gets out of the way.
I'm waiting. If RVD tears an ACL doing that move, that is a dangerous kick because of where his leg hits the guardrail at.
But he's able to do that from all the intense stretching that he does before and after matches.
I'm sorry, how can you stretch an ACL?
Well, I'm talking about stretching the legs and everything.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a ligament.
Okay.
In the knee.
Okay, you know this more than I do. Quiet.
I was just pointing it out.
I'm just talking about the flexibility of how he's able to reach the leg over that much. That far.
That is true.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was a good jump, great jump, but we all know RVD can jump.
Yep.
But the angle that, unless he hits lower, that leg is the thigh's gonna hit the guardrail in the top part of his leg, where his calf and his foot are gonna be over the guardrail, and one day he's gonna hit with too much force. It's gonna tear that ACL.
Well, he's been doing it for how long now? He's done that, and he's done a move on
done a lot
actual
of stuff.
guardrails.
Yeah,
not.
he's
I
done
mean,
a
that
lot of
barricade
stuff.
now is padded a little bit.
True.
So I mean, he's been doing that since like '98.
And he's had a lot of injuries along the way.
Yeah, but has he torn his ACL? Has he torn his ACL?
I don't think he's ever torn his ACL.
Where Orton
He's also
dominates,
older.
but then RVD eventually fights back, misses the 5-star frog splash, but intelligently rolls out of the ring from it so he can't be pinned. And that's when things get a little interesting, because then all of a sudden, Del Rio hops from the commentary, grabs Ricardo, and shoves him into the ring post. RVD sees that and flies over the top rope onto Del Rio. And in doing so, when that happens, it gives Orton time to regain his wits, get out there.
Did you just shake yourself to regain?
I
your
can
own
regain.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, I shook my head to act like Orton was regaining his wits.
Cleared the cobweb.
Clear the cobwebs. And Orton attacks RVD and hits his vintage Orton DDT as JBL again, second week in a row called it. But he hits it on the outside. And that just takes RVD completely out of it. Throws him in the ring. Hits the RKO. Match over. And the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome" during this match. It was just an outstanding matchup, especially for the first matchup of a night.
Yeah.
Just great. And
His RVD is Orton.
yeah, and I gotta say, for them kind of making Orton the corporate type champ, he's wrestling every show. It's Triple H, his buddy, that's putting him in all these matches.
That's a good point.
And he's not arguing about it.
Yeah.
So that's one little difference from this and like the Attitude Era Corporation. When you had The Rock, all of a sudden it involved in matches. It was like Commissioner Foley or Linda McMahon putting them in, and then he was getting pissed about it. Not really having that here.
Not at all.
No.
Matter of fact, I believe Triple H has done more work in this Randy Orton reign than
That Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. He literally put the belt on Orton.
Mm-hmm.
He's given
true.
him every single match, and he's made sure he had protection in every single
That's
match.
very true. Yeah, he's protecting him the whole time.
Oh, yeah, and I did forget one thing with the in the promo at the beginning, because Triple H was saying, like the COO is the WWE. He's the one who runs the WWE. Therefore, I am the WWE.
He did say that.
He did say that. And there are people at home who read all the dirt sheets or whatever, is just like, "Oh, Triple H, I don't like when you say things like that." I thought it was brilliant.
Well, yeah.
Because it brings some realism into it.
It's kind of true. Like it or not.
Yep.
He is a very high-powered executive.
Yeah. And then after the Randy Orton match, going back to that, then Del Rio comes in, kicks RVD a little bit, hits the cross-arm breaker, and poses with the World Heavyweight title. Because, hey, remember, they're supposed to be wrestling in a week and a half for the World Heavyweight title. Because they really haven't done too much with that. It's just been like little promos here or there.
Yeah.
They really haven't gotten physical.
They haven't done a lot with it.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
Well, you'll find out next week when
Oh, gosh.
when I successfully defend my title against like 30 people.
Hey,
As I
if
defend
you
it
can
over-
win that, then you're good.
then I'm legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll consider you the undisputed.
What?
Oh!
No,
Oh!
no. You are not going to be holding that title for very long, so enjoy this week while you can.
Am I supposed to be intimidated by
You
that?
should be.
She said,
I'm
"Yeah,
not.
One more week. Let's see.
You sleep with it all you want, because that's all you're gonna get. Next couple.
Wow.
That was a shot.
That was a shot. I don't
That
think
was
she
a
even.
Triple H shot.
I don't think she even realized how she phrased that.
No, she didn't. It was funny though.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Renee Young backstage with Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan clarifies that he did not go out there for the town hall meeting because he was told that he was not invited and that he would never claim to be bigger than any of the other WWE superstars. So he wanted to clear that up. He knows. He says, he can beat any member of the Shield, just like I know I can beat Randy Orton. Because tonight Daniel Bryan is going to get to choose any member of the Shield to go one-on-one with. And then from that, I don't know if it spaced right, because after that, was that the Divas promo in the back as well? Do I have this spaced correctly?
I don't remember.
Because for some reason my
what's
notes
going on with
jumbled it
your
all
notes
together.
here?
They jumbled it all together. I
No,
think
we went straight into.
Did we go straight to Ziggler right back there?
Yep, we went straight into.
Okay, then the Diva
Ziggler
thing
and
must have been
Ryback.
after that. All right, so we'll go to Ziggler Ryback, then we'll go to that.
Okay.
So another fun match was Ziggler and Ryback. These guys going at it. Out of nowhere, through the crowd, Ambrose shows up in commentary.
Yeah.
And he scares the crap out of Michael Cole,
I have no
which I
idea where
love.
he came from.
Where did he come from?
Yeah.
I look up, and where the hell
He's
how
standing
was Ambrose
there.
here?
Yeah. With the belt.
With the belt. And
Had
this,
a headset.
and
He
this
was
was
like, ready to go.
This
Ready to go.
was, I believe, the first time on WWE TV we saw Ambrose speak without Reigns and Rollins with him. We've seen him wrestle without them at ringside, but I don't think we've ever really seen him talk without them.
Not at that length.
No, and he got
Yeah.
time to talk on commentary.
Like I said, he sounds like a video game villain.
He does.
Yeah. His
That's a
voice
great
is
comparison.
so perfect for a video game villain. It just seemed like that.
And it's not,
like
and
it?
it,
yeah,
and
it
it
was
can't,
kind of dope.
it
yeah.
can't just be a one-time video game. It's got to be one of those that has like 8 parts. to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Seriously, like, get back in the ring, Dolph. Like, it was just like one of those things.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, Ambrose. Michael Cole asks Ambrose if the Shield is working for Triple H, and Ambrose says the Shield works for the Shield.
Guardians of Justice.
Great, the Guardians of Justice.
Hounds of Justice.
Tisk,
Um,
tisk.
And yeah, and when Ryback knocked Ziggler out of the ring, then Ambrose was like, "Dolph, what do you do? Get in the
Yeah,
ring.
Get in the ring.
Just talking smack to Ziggler. What are you doing out of the ring? Get in the ring. Get in the ring." And
baited him.
Ziggler got back to his feet, sees Ambrose, starts chasing him, and Ambrose runs around, and when Ziggler makes the turn, he runs into the meat hook clothesline by Ryback.
Well done.
Very well done
Yeah,
sequence.
I liked it.
Yep.
Then Ryback throws him in the ring, hits the shell shock for the win. The only complaint that I have is the first 2 matches, both great matches, both big name matches, ended the same exact way.
Yeah.
They get distracted by the heel that's on the outside at commentary. They hit their signature move, one of their signature moves, and then throw them in the ring and hit
Right
their
back in
finisher.
the ring and it's over.
And it was back to back too.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It was
They
consecutive.
could have at least spread it a little bit.
You know, match 4 wouldn't hurt.
Match 4.
Yeah.
Put the divas in between or something. But
Well, like I said, this was star-studded, so there was no like filler match
It was
really.
no
to-
letdown.
No.
It was
Well-
There
no
really
letdown.
wasn't.
well,
Now let's go to the divas in the back because I'm sure by now this happened. AJ walks into Layla, Oksana, and Alicia Fox. You know,
Hey, Alicia.
the other 3 divas
Hey,
that are
AJ.
not the champion or not on Total Divas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The girls who just get a paycheck for,
Hanging out.
WWE stuff.
Yeah. So AJ is kind of talking to him, saying, I'd much rather defend my title against one of you who's earned the right to it than, any of those total divas, the ones that are covered in
So
sparkles and
Sparkles.
shame.
Manipulative, this girl.
And yeah,
So
and all of a
manipulative.
sudden she's kind of like being manipulative and talking with the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And that leads to things later on, which we'll get to. Yeah, my only thing is Caitlyn is the only one left out of all this. Like, all of a sudden, Caitlyn was the top contender, and now she is nowhere
what is
amongst
going
everyone.
on with her?
You know what's weird?
It's a mystery.
You didn't even notice.
I didn't notice and I didn't
Yeah.
miss her.
She disappeared
Wow,
like.
dude.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't miss her. It's nothing against her personally, but I just don't find her interesting. Yeah.
Did you ever find her interesting at some
No.
point?
No. Maybe she's working on her new theme music.
Maybe.
Or
Maybe
does
she's
she
gonna move up
need-
to Super
Or
Nintendo
she's
theme.
like,
Yeah.
my muffin tops have happening, so I need to fix that.
Whoa!
Shot.
Sorry.
I mean,
I'm
but-
sorry. I find Caitlyn hot.
You do you.
Wow, really?
So,
I think all the divas. I think all the divas are hot,
Everyone, every single one of them.
except Vicky.
What about Cameron?
Cameron physically, yes.
Physically.
Attitude wise.
Well, I learned that on Total Divas.
TheBomb.com.
Girl, bye. Kofi Kingston versus Curtis Axel. I found this really interesting and almost like perfect on WWE scheduling part. So Axel's being pushed to the moon with this thing with CM Punk right now.
See, I debate that. I don't think he's being pushed to the moon with that.
Well,
I
he's
think
being the one
just
involved, being
in
the muscle with it.
He's in the hot storyline, but he keeps getting his butt kicked every single time he's out there with Punk.
Yeah, and the last time like Heyman needed a huge muscle, it was Brock Lesnar. So, you
Yep.
know.
Do that one more time.
No, I'm not gonna do it again. I like Brock Lesnar. I'm not gonna butcher it again.
Oh my God, that was great.
That was Paul Heyman on
But
helium,
you know,
ladies and
honestly,
gentlemen.
I don't like Curtis Axel very much.
I see.
It's growing.
But see, I'm still with him. I'm still a big
I
fan of
like him
Axel.
better than I did initially when he came in, but
Okay.
I told you he does not fit the prototype for a typical Heyman guy. He
Doesn't-
fits the prototype for hey, I'm a legacy WWE
Yeah.
guy. Give me a job.
I mean, as of
I
now,
can wrestle a little bit, and
it's like
there I am.
he's kind of lacking personality or character.
See,
at
I
this
I
point.
think
Like,
he's
there's nothing.
done a lot in the last few months with the personality.
But well, hence why I like him a little better. So he's got a little more substance, but I feel like he still has a long way to go to prove himself.
I don't know. I think the Intercontinental title is the perfect area for him. Personally,
Well, I mean,
the IC title,
the IC title.
the one that was on Macho Man, the one that was on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the one that was on Shawn Michaels, the one that was on Ravishing Rick Rude. Really?
boom.
The one that was on Mr. Perfect.
Yes, the one that was on the guys that they felt has the potential to eventually move up. Not all of them did. Look at the Mountie. Look at the
That's
Texas
true.
Tornado.
That's true.
Look at
Hey, Texas, don't say nothing about the Texas Tornado.
look at the Honky Tonk Man.
Hey, Honky Tonk is great.
Honky Tonk was great, but he never was the WWE champion.
No, he wasn't. And Curtis Axel
Greg the Hammer
probably won't
Valentine,
either.
Hall of
but-
Famer, but
Yeah.
never WWE champion, but Intercontinental champion.
But none of the Curtis Axel can lace none of those guys' boots except for Mr. Perfect, and that's because he was in the house.
I'm not saying Curtis Axel today is as good as those guys were, but Curtis Axel, who knows, whenever it's all said and
So
done.
too early. You're admitting it.
Well, admitting,
Yeah.
comparing him to a Hall of Famer, yes, it's too
I
early.
mean, that's what I don't know.
I'm not going to compare him to a Hall of
saying. We're
Famer.
I don't even have to compare him to a Hall of Famer. He can't lace Cody Rhodes' boots right now.
Oh, Miss Cooper.
Oh, those two, I think. No, those two can put on good matches.
They can,
Mm-hmm.
but Cody's leading.
Axel can lead too. Why are you throwing me in a wall? You really don't like Curtis Axel.
No, I like him. I just think it's too much too soon for that. Like, he's been left laying in 90% of this whole thing with Punk. It's doing nothing for him. I want to like him, and they're not giving him anything. They're not giving me a reason to like him. I want him to have more. But if he,
they're also not giving you a reason to dislike him too. He's just kind of there.
well, he's getting his butt beat by
how I
CM Punk
feel.
every week.
Well,
Just-
well, the one thing that I can agree with you on is the fact that Curtis Axel, since he won the title, he really hasn't had someone feud with him for the title.
True.
So
That's true.
that does hurt him.
And that's a
That
big
hurts.
part of
That
the
hurts.
problem, I think.
Yes.
He's got the IC belt, and the main storyline that he's involved in he's not
is
even a
is
star player.
above the
Yeah.
the title. So I agree with you in that regard. He needs something like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you give him that, then
And when that
you might
happens-
finally see what I'm seeing.
When that happens, then we'll reset, because then it's actually about him and not about Paul Heyman and CM Punk.
Right.
All right. Well, who knows? Maybe this guy's going to feud with this Kofi Kingston, because these guys went great. I thought this match was another
It was good.
really entertaining match. And I thought it was very smart on WWE's part to have a SmackDown taping in Axel's hometown. You know, it's just how the schedule happened to fall into place, where Axel's involved in this feud with Punk, obviously. and so they want him to be booed. But when you're the hometown guy, there are always some cheers for you.
Yeah.
And they completely dubbed all that out.
Take it away.
Nope. He is booed like he is everywhere else.
Yep.
And it was hilarious. And I know Kaori is like foaming at the mouth, wanting to bring this up. While we were watching, the ring announcer says, "In the ring, currently in the ring, blah blah blah, Kofi Kingston." And I look at her, I'm like, this means Kofi's going to lose, because 99 times out of 100, if a guy's just currently in the ring, he ain't winning. I was wrong. Today was that one time. And it literally came out of absolute nowhere. Kofi hits the SOS, which I've said on here should be his finisher, and that won him the match. I think it's the first time he's ever won a match with the SOS, for all I know.
I've seen him win one with it.
And it was just like the sudden shock from the commentators, from the crowd. Paul Heyman standing there in disbelief, drops the
Yeah,
belt.
it like slides down his body.
So great. And
he dropped it.
And you're thinking, in the midst of all the celebration, the follow-up to it is exactly why Heyman acted the way he did. Not just because he's upset his client lost, but Renee in the back with him asking, well, Curtis Axel just lost to Kofi Kingston. What if the same thing happens at Night of Champions and he loses to CM Punk? And it's just like, oh, that's why. And Paul Heyman, where am I? Here I am. My notes are much smaller for some reason.
See, you do need to use your notes.
Well, because I have it written down, I have to look at it. Shush, you. Shush. But no, I love this from Paul Heyman because he talked about how tonight was an error in judgment. How he is taking the blame for Curtis Axel's loss. We overlooked Kofi Kingston because we're so focused on CM Punk. That's not Curtis Axel's fault. That's on me. When was the last time you ever heard a manager say that?
Hey, this is Paul Heyman. This is Paul E. Paul E. Dangerously for all the people who remember that name.
Yeah.
He's a little different. That's a pretty legitimate reason to give for a guy losing in a match that he probably should not have lost. A match that shocked us all.
It was a big upset.
Yeah.
Well, the way they've been using Curtis Axel, and Kofi's been not used really at all.
I thought they would give him something more leading up to the big match with Punk, but they did not.
And who knows? Maybe this will lead to a title match on Raw. Who knows? We'll find out. Or next week on SmackDown.
Yeah, it should.
Would be good for us. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Give us something to talk about.
Give us something to talk about, and we want to hear what people are talking about by leaving us comments and giving us 5-star ratings by going to iTunes. Breathe. Me?
Yes, you.
I did that perfectly fine, sir. I was not out of breath.
He was just looking out for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Tag team partner.
All right.
Tag team partner.
Slightly labored.
Tag team partner.
Go ahead.
You're ripping me to shreds
Go
today.
ahead. I like it.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Maybe Studio B, because the two of you are closer together, that you guys are just destroying me. Go to iTunes. Why not? And give us 5-star ratings and leave comments on how you feel bad for me of these two berating me this week.
Or how you feel bad for us.
Yeah. We have to work with this guy.
I mean, my goodness.
And also make sure you check out the brand newly upgraded AfterBuzzTV.com, where you can see the schedule of all your favorite shows. And AfterBuzz here, we do Raw, we do SmackDown, we do Main Event, we do Total Divas, and we now also do NXT as well. That just started last night, so make sure you check that out and support it, as well as any other TV show you watch. More than likely AfterBuzz does it, so check them all out, subscribe, tell friends, and give that 5-star rating, please.
Boom.
And then we'll just kind of touch on it very quickly. Bray Wyatt promo, the same one that they aired on Raw.
Yeah.
Kind of like the little talk with Kane, but it's just Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I just love Bray Wyatt.
Where is Kane?
Kane's filming See No Evil too.
Yep. Kane's making money.
Ready to go see that.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to have the big chain again.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like a big hook?
Yeah,
Please
the chain
do.
with the hook
Please
at the
do.
end.
All right, Divas action. Brie Bella versus Naomi. This match starting out well, but really only goes a couple minutes. There's a point where both girls go out of the ring. Cameron kind of walks over to overlook it.
Poor Cameron.
And then and then from what we saw earlier in the night, AJ, Alicia, Layla, and Oksana, all the us.
Yeah. It's a lot of A's.
AJ, Oksana, Alicia, and Layla.
That is true. Good
Count
point.
They just run down and beat the crap out of Cameron, Naomi, and Brie. I think Nikki got away because of her injury. They didn't really hit her.
AJ hit Cameron with the force of
Yeah,
an
it was
NFL
really
linebacker.
hard.
Yeah.
We felt it.
Yeah. She knocked herself backwards.
Yeah.
I thought
Oof.
yeah.
I'm still cringing just remembering
that
it.
was a hit.
And they just for a couple minutes beat her down, and then AJ just gets the mic and says, you know, ladies and nerds, you're WWE Divas Champion, AJ Lee, and drops the mic. Now we have like 10 divas in this one storyline. That's amazing.
The seeds have all been planted.
It's
and
amazing.
Now it's time.
And and then you got to think, like we said earlier, where's Caitlyn in all this? And what about any NXT divas to bring
This
up?
is the perfect time.
That's true.
This is the time for Paige.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is it.
This is the time for Paige
I
to
would
get up
love
there.
To see Paige take over.
Yeah.
Paige.
I don't know about takeover.
Well, no,
I
good,
wouldn't
but
mind.
align.
But
I say
getting-
align
I
herself with
wouldn't
AJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her and AJ. That was.
Mhm. Think about that.
Well,
Yeah.
well, think about it. AJ is talking about how she doesn't wear like the fancy shoes and the dresses and things like that. Paige is nicknamed the anti-diva.
Yeah.
Well, says AJ, who sits there and cuts her shirts up and tries to look all like
Hey.
boy hot.
Hey,
So
hey,
she has
hey.
her own way of trying to be a diva. So
AJ's hot.
she is hot, but
She's very hot.
I just froze there, everyone.
Speaking of hot, let's try to cool it down a little bit with another vignette of Los Matadores. Yeah, Olay Rome.
Olay.
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 I hate both of
Olay.
you in this moment right now. I'm gonna become a Republican about this whole Los Matadores.
Why
We get political
What?
in this.
See, you dislike them already, but you barely know them.
No, I know them. I know who they are. But I went on my rant last week. I went on my rant on the our very last main event. I will not go on a rant right now. I will reserve judgment until I see them.
But
And
you are doing judgment right now.
no. I'll wait until they debut, and then I'll tell you how much they suck.
Okay.
Jeez.
What?
You are negative Nancy today.
No, I just you know how I feel about that. It's
You don't like the character.
horrible. It's a
You don't like the
horrible
character.
gimmick.
Let's see what happens when they debut.
Yeah.
It would be a cool gimmick if it had like some kind of flip to it, but they're just mad.
Well, maybe they'll
But it's just-
maybe they'll
it's just a
maybe
vignette,
maybe the
so-
flip will happen when they debut
Yeah.
though.
If they bring a bull out,
I don't think PETA
I
will
don't
allow
think they
that.
should bring a bull out. That's dangerous.
I know that's the point.
But that's dangerous.
Thank
ECW would have done it.
Thank you for clarifying that a live
live
bull
Poor
is a
bull.
dangerous idea, Corey.
Well, they hurt the bull. That's why the bull gets all aggravated, and that's why the bull starts attacking.
I hope the Usos
So,
just destroy them.
I was thinking about the bull.
Well,
I hope Primetime.
well, how about
Players
how about
destroy
that?
them.
How about that segue though? Speaking of Usos,
Yep, the
we
Usos.
get to the Usos against the Real Americans.
Yay.
That's a great one. The Real Americans versus the Matadors.
That would be
I mean,
that would be
well,
hot.
actually that's
See,
a feud right there.
that's awesome.
Already.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I'm
it.
okay with that. As soon as the bell rings, Cesaro runs and hits a drop kick right into I believe it was Jimmy Uso took the beating all the match, and that was how he like sliced Darren Young's mouth open 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's still every time Darren Young wrestles, it's still getting cut because he hasn't
Yeah.
had time to heal it.
Hadn't healed.
So, drop kick, quick tag to Swagger, who hits a chop. What do
Take
you
your
call
time.
it?
Let him use you. Take your time.
No, the move is it's the name of the move is leaving my head when they like tackle the spear of the knee. What is that?
Oh. Sweep the leg. No.
Yeah.
Just,
It's escaping
It
my
was-
head
it
right
was a
now.
chop block.
Chop block.
it was just a
Chop block. That's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to say.
You watch a lot of football?
Yeah, I do, and
You
I was
coulda fooled me.
depressed last night because 2 of my 3 fantasy leagues I'm playing against Peyton Manning.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But anywho,
Yep,
and then
chop
another
block. And that
chop
was a
block.
huge
It was a
chop
huge
block.
chop block, and then a quick tag right back to Cesaro, who does the leapfrog into the double stomp,
Yeah.
and then a quick tag right back to Swagger with a double Uranagi. It was just like quick, fluid. This is how
That's
a tag team
wrestling.
should
Yeah,
be.
they're a really good tag team.
That's
And
tag team wrestling.
I'm not even thinking about Cesaro, but I really am. So, but they're really.
I'm talking about the actual match. Damn it.
She just had to do it.
She had to do it. Jimmy eventually finds a way to make the tag to Jay, who starts cleaning house, and then it's just utter chaos.
Yeah.
Guys flying left and right. Jay eventually heads to the top rope to go for the splash, but Swagger gets over there in time, pushes him off into a Cesaro uppercut. Beautiful. And the Real Americans, for the first time in who knows how long,
I can't remember,
get a big win. And we the people. And we the people.
Yeah.
And
they're
I
going to
like
do the
those
same
capes.
thing to the Matadors.
Oh, no,
That'd be
I didn't even
great.
think of that, though. That's a great feud. And that doesn't have to have the title around it.
Nope, it does not. And it's a built-in storyline.
It is. Go. Those Matadors, get on TV so that feud can start.
Yes.
Yes, Rome.
Yes.
Yes, Rome.
Just because I want to see the Real Americans.
Okay.
win.
Yeah.
I love this. Backstage with Triple H and Big Show. Triple H is like, you've had that just this angry face all day. And Big Show's like, you know what's causing this face. You know why I'm so angry. Triple H, yeah. 3MB.
3MB.
Random.
The way they disrespected you in that town hall meeting.
That was
You
great.
just want to lay them out. Like, oh.
Triple H is just
These
being
last 2
that-
weeks,
Oh, my
these
goodness.
last 2 weeks of Triple H
Yeah.
have been possibly the best mic work he has ever done.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just-
And he's always been great on the microphone.
And it's not like goofy funny. It's legitimately like smart aleck funny.
Yeah. It's just like, haha, well, I'm the boss, so I'm going to do this.
Yep, I can.
So, Big Show, I'm going to give you 3MB in a handicap match. And we're getting ready to go to that. But first, we find out that the WWE app has been downloaded over 7 million times. So that tutorial they gave for like 3 minutes on Raw on how to download an app from your
How to
phone,
download it.
I guess paid off.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Because, you know, people don't know how to work their iPhones.
Yeah, you
No.
will. You'd be
Androids.
surprised,
yeah.
you know.
How do you download a free app? I don't understand
no
it.
idea. Never did. Never
But-
knew.
Over 7 million. And to think, they really haven't promoted it.
No, they haven't.
No, I haven't heard much about it. It's kind of been an underground thing.
But, you know.
Yeah. All right. 3MB versus Big Show. I wrote on my notes, no notes necessary.
Well, there was one good move.
Well, no, I'm not saying there
And
was
I'm
bad
I'm
moves.
trying to remember what it was.
I'm not saying there were bad moves. It's just the Big Show just
Yeah.
decimated all three of them.
He came out and we knew.
We
yeah,
knew-
it was going to be
Yeah.
like 3 minutes.
My only question on this, and this is me nitpicking with the referee, I usually have one match every week where I do that, is beginning of the match is Big Show with Heath Slater.
He's going to talk about the countdown.
Yeah.
The countdown?
Count out.
Okay, thank you.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Look at
takes
you
Slater.
being mean to
He
me.
takes Slater down, like bangs his knee. Slater's screaming in pain in the ring, and Big Show goes on the outside and just beats the crap out of McIntyre and Jinder. Why is the referee not counting Big Show out? Slater's the legal man. He's the one in the ring.
You want to anger that man right now?
I don't want to anger him, but that would have been. I think that would have been hilarious then if all of a sudden they said 3MB beat the Big Show, and then Triple H could have a freaking field
Yeah.
day with it.
What? What happened?
It's like do you really just lose to 3MB?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
But needless to say,
He would have like pictures up everywhere in the backstage area.
great moments in SmackDown history.
Every time he comes out, it's the Big Show. It'd be a big picture
Oh, God.
of him getting pinned by 3MB. I would love that.
So yeah, Big Show just destroys them all. The big knockout punch on Slater. Hooks the leg because we thought Slater was going to kick
Because
out.
he was going to kick out,
And
obviously.
Big Show wins and then storms on off. And then finally, we have the three members of the Shield in the ring. And Big Show is still up top of the stage as the Shield's music hits. And Big Show wants to go down there, and Triple H walks out and is like, oh, come on, you took care of what angered you. Come on in the back. Come on, we're done here. You don't need to be out here for the Shield. So Big Show, again, reluctantly goes to the back. Shield's all standing in the ring. Dan O'Brien comes out. Who is he going to choose? Dan O'Brien's pretty much saying, I don't care. Any one of you can step up. Roman Reigns steps forward. And I was saying in the screen room, like, good, this is the one I want because we haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
I want this one.
But
And then Rollins attacks him from behind.
Yanked it away.
And then we have
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Dan O'Brien.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to complain whatsoever about Seth Rollins versus Dan O'Brien because I can watch these guys wrestle all the time. But I thought it'd be a real cool test if they let Roman Reigns have a match one-on-one with Dan O'Brien. Be a good test to see what Reigns could do.
Yeah. I've been waiting. I
still
want to
waiting.
see it.
Still waiting.
Well, we should say they're building up. Like we were saying, Evolution, they didn't really have Batista wrestle a lot of singles matches for a long time.
They protected him. Hey, if they need to protect him, a guy with that look, then hey, by all means,
Fine.
do it.
I'm not going to,
Until he's ready.
I'm not going to argue. A typical Dan O'Brien, Seth Rollins match, just all over the place.
All over the place.
Kicks galore. Seth Rollins broke his neck.
Yeah. Yeah. It was unfortunate.
Brian hits
Yeah.
a German suplex, and Rollins literally tries to flip out of it and lands on his
It was
head.
quite dangerous.
I'm
was
still
still
cringing.
thinking,
Yeah.
How he was not legitimately hurt from that baffles me.
He
It
might have to
had.
be wearing a brace right now or something.
Yeah, he
Like,
flew
jeez.
around with just enough force that when his head, the crown of his head was touching
Oh.
the ring, the rest of his body carried over. That could have gone really bad if he had have planted him.
Yeah.
Because it was a release German. Was I? Am I
Yes,
right?
release German, yeah.
Yeah, if they had that been just a regular German, yeah, we'd be having a memorial show.
Oh my god.
No, we would. Yeah.
Well, since SmackDown was taped, I don't think they would have aired
yeah,
it.
that's true. Just cut it. Cut it.
They'd just be like, I don't even want to talk about it because that's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into
I mean,
what they could have done.
He was hooked a little high for the German, but I mean, it was still a great looking German suplex, and the fact that he was going for the backflip with it.
Yeah.
Imagine if he really cleared that and landed on his face like he was supposed to. It would have been
Yeah.
priceless.
And there's a point where Dan O'Brien is heading to the top rope, but then Rollins hit enziguri on him, knocked him out. Then Rollins distracting the referee. Roman Reigns runs in with a Superman punch.
Yeah.
And that's like the big turning point. Rollins then in control. But then Dan O'Brien, out of nowhere, gets a yes lock in. But then as he gets it in, Ambrose and Reigns hop on the apron, knocks down Reigns, knocks down Ambrose, runs out suicide dive on the Reigns. Rollins ready to do a suicide dive on the Bryan. Bryan catches him with a big forearm and then flies in and hits his knee to the skull that they still haven't officially named in WWE. I know, that he got that move from Japan.
Yeah.
And Dan O'Brien gets the win. And the commentators are going nuts, saying, Dan O'Brien pinned Seth Rollins. What an upset.
It was such a
Dan O'Brien's the number one contender for the WWE title. Why is this an upset?
woohoo! He beat the Shields.
It's a
number
great
2
match.
guy.
It's a big win because Seth Rollins is one half of the tag team champions. But if Rollins beat Dan O'Brien, that's the upset.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they were calling it an upset. And Dan O'Brien standing, cheering, yesing with the crowd. Standing, cheering, yesing.
Yeah.
That's how I'm just going to call it.
Yesing.
On the stage, Randy Orton runs from behind, hits him in the back with the title.
With the belt.
And for like the umpteenth straight show, it ends with Randy Orton standing tall over Dan O'Brien, which again, just like the
Gosh.
situation with the stage, I love the repetition of it because it builds up for that one time that Dan O'Brien will be the one standing
The
tall.
pendulum will
We're
come
waiting
another
for
way.
that to happen.
Yep.
And just keep feeding this to us more and more. And then when that one time happens, we're all going to be like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Can
Is that the face you gotta make when
This
they
is
do it?
what we've been waiting for. Someone's going to screen cap that one for me
Yeah.
now, too.
You gotta
Well, you do
screen
gotta
cap
pose,
it
you
and
do
make
gotta
it for
pose.
like all kinds of different things. Like they need to like superimpose a bowl of cereal in front of you, and that
I mean-
flowers.
Like, do some memes.
Yeah.
Do
Christian
some memes
memes.
with it.
Christian memes.
Christian Rosenberg memes.
Yeah.
I love it. So that wraps up this really, really, really good SmackDown. This I thought last week's SmackDown was good. I thought this one was better.
Oh, this was way better.
Yeah.
I thought.
Top to bottom, man.
Yeah, top to bottom, every match entertaining.
Yeah.
Match of the night. What would you give it? Because that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, I know. And the fact that you looked at me first means I'm gonna shoot it to Kaori.
No, that's not fair. Okay, I like the storyline of the Divas a lot, so I'm gonna go with that, even though it's not really the match of the night, but it was most.
You know, that was the only match
don't
that
know
ended
what
in
it
no
was.
contest.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
the only
no,
match
this
that I
Just a
didn't have a
beat
finish.
down.
I liked it. Watching
Okay.
these chicks. I'm finally getting behind the divas.
The girl picking the
Yeah.
girls.
So I'm rooting for them.
All right, Rome.
Ooh.
What was your favorite match of the night?
I'm going RVD Orton.
Really?
That was great.
Yeah,
I didn't like that
I'm
one.
going with the first match.
I mean, RVD Orton was great. I liked Ziggler Ryback a lot too. I liked Daniel Bryan
Ziggler
and
Ryback
Rollins a
was
lot
good.
too.
Yeah, it's a hard
But-
choice.
I'm going with the tag match. I'm going with Usos and
Oh
Real
my
Americans.
gosh.
I thought that match
Should've
was.
thought of that.
You
I
should
thought
have.
that match was just nonstop. The length of it was like perfect.
Perfect.
It wasn't too short, but it didn't go longer than needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a nice win. It was a sudden win. Fun tag team action. I'm gonna give it.
Can I
to the-
retract? And
Nope.
No, nope. You
Nope.
don't love him anymore.
No.
We're gonna tweet
Oh
him and
my
tell
I'm gonna
him.
tweet.
gosh.
I'm gonna tweet
I'm
Cesaro.
sorry,
And he didn't pick him.
Cesaro.
And he's gonna cry himself to sleep tonight about it.
Yep.
No, he won't.
Yeah, I couldn't actually pick AJ because she wasn't actually in a match. Haha.
Yeah.
I know, but they're all.
There you go.
It was. I like watching them. And
Oh, I like watching
I like
them too.
watching
And
them
I'm-
too.
I
and
like how AJ's being all like manipulative and saying, "I would rather fight against one of you guys." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, really? Well, let's get rid of those girls and let's just." I don't know. It's cool. I like this whole thing going.
I like AJ too. It's
Yeah.
Well, no, I like
Everyone
the
knows I
fact
like
that the Divas, they're doing stuff with them and building it up well, and we're gonna see how they continue building it up on Raw and next week's SmackDown, and then Night of Champions. Cause next week we got to give our predictions. I got to bring that title out next week, and I got to defend it with class and dignity. Cause
I
that's
don't know
what
if
I
you
do.
got that.
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
you being
I don't
wrong
know.
earlier was foreshadowing.
I was wrong. Oh, about Kofi Kingston. Whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. I know it's shocking that I'm not perfect in all Rome.
It is. It is so shocking.
Well, in the meantime, until we meet again next week, Rome, where can people find you?
Rome the Ruler on Twitter, as always, still there.
You can find me at KAORIOUS, Kaorius.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. And those of you in the Huntington Park area tomorrow night, Saturday night, we're doing a benefit tribute show. There's a friend of mine out here about a month or so ago who, unfortunately, a wrestler here who went by the name Sumo that passed away, and we're doing a special tribute show for him there. All the money made at that show is going to his daughter's college fund. So it's obviously for a great cause, and we're gonna have lots of great wrestling. Ryan Morals from Raw AfterBuzz will be there as well. So hope you guys, if you're in the area, can check it out. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. For Rome Moore and Corey Takee, I'm Christian Rosenberg. See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
All right, Peter.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.